3 minutes late. How dare you, Mr. Bierski?
A wizard is never late. A wizard is always on time.
Welcome, everybody. Today's topic, we're upping the antics a little bit. We're upping the game a little bit. We're going more deeper as time goes by. We're starting to really focus a lot more on the important things. And we've tried our best to help awaken enough people. And it's time that we start deep diving and going more into the wisdom of ancient knowledge. And of course, the wisdom of knowledge of people's work, their truth. And you know my work, it's all to do with energy and healing. And there's a lot of healers out there who will probably understand most of this. But there are some people out there who still kind of want to put some of the pieces together. So I know quite a lot of things, but I don't know everything. And I remember at the beginning of my journey, my teacher was putting the pieces together of the things that was happening in my life. And that was a wonderful reassurance that I'm not going crazy. So I hope to be the same. Don't like teacher, don't like the word teacher. Mentor, guide is kind of okay, but just a sharer of knowledge. All of those names are like so egoistic because you can teach me. We're all teachers and pupils. So welcome, everybody. Back in 10 minutes. Okay, Peter, I'll just hang on. We'll just wait for 10 minutes till you get back. I won't say anything. We'll just meditate for 10 minutes. Everybody close your eyes. No, I'm kidding. Somebody's in the room. Just felt somebody in the room. Yeah, I can't attune. I just felt it. So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But thank you, whoever's in the room. So it feels good, feels lovely, feels. How do you know if it's a good or bad spirit? Bad spirits don't come into good energy. Very hard. Just like it's hard for good spirits to come into bad energy. They come into good energy. So yeah. Bad energy, bad spirits. Good energy, good spirits. Oh, that's a bit simple. Are you sure? Well, I'm actually going to start off by something that'll probably upset you and probably make you think about me differently, but it's okay. It's fine. I'm fine about that. Always when you talk about things, I'm strong enough to talk about things like this because it doesn't affect me and you can make your own mind up at the end of it. But I receive about 20 to 50, maybe 100 messages a day. Sometimes if we're launching something or if something big's coming up, I get 200 or 300, but predominantly 50 to 100 messages a day. In and amongst all of them messages, I don't get time to see them hardly at all. But sometimes I might have 5 minutes spare to scroll, and I'll scroll. And normally you normally see the worst messages rather than the best messages. So the loving messages, most people will just scroll past. And the horrible messages is what you'll focus on. Now think about that. Why are you focusing on negative? It's a great question. We all do it. So why do we do it? Why do we give that energy so much focus and attention? Great question. Ask yourself that question. Ponder this question in the next coming weeks. So, message from Jenny. I appreciate your message, Jenny. I'm not going to say your last name. I don't want to upset. I'm not that kind of person. I've never finger pointed unless it's Gates from Hell and Dr. Fauci and those killers and murderers. Then I will. But generally, I'm not a finger pointer at, like people like me and you. So anyway, Jenny says, you are evil. You're an evil deceiver. And you don't know, and I don't know you, but I see through you. You are a liar, a cheat, and an energy drainer. You feed from others' weaknesses. I hate you. Signed. I think what she's tried to do here is put evil, meaning that, my name is evil. So, yeah, I wrote it down because I thought this is a great way to have a conversation, a great way to chat. So let's look at that, shall we? Let's face it and look at it. So first of all, facing something like this, it's a little bit of a shock at the first glance, and you think, whoa, them words are kind of key words. So she's really, really pissed. She's really angry. I don't know who she is. She's been on my website and she's been on my Facebook, I think for about 5 days, something like that. I noticed when I scrolled to 4 messages, the first message was, hi. The second message started telling me about her life, all the things that had happened in her life. And it started off with, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I didn't have chat. I don't have a chance to see everybody's messages. I might see 1% of people's messages. Then there was another message, why aren't you answering me? And then this was the third message. You are a liar and deceiver. So first of all, we can kind of summarize just by that she's not happy that I didn't answer her 3 messages. So first of all, you've got now a huge amount of ego stirring. Secondly, you've got the mirror image. So you've got to look at the mirror image. The mirror image is whatever you say is what predominantly how you're feeling. So you are an evil deceiver. Well, I quickly scanned her Facebook, and she's a seller of timeshare. Okay, so she sells timeshare. No likes, nobody's said anything nice whatsoever. It looks like she's been on there, what I wrote down, since 2016, and she's posted about 30 pictures all on this timeshare, different timeshares, and it looks like she's done different jobs in the timeshare industry. So that's kind of like what I kind of saw. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what was there. I didn't see a single post of love. I didn't see a single post of wanting to help or care for anybody. I didn't see a single post of her wisdom, knowledge, or anything that she's learned and wanted to share. All she's put out there is she sells timeshares. Okay, so that kind of tells you straight away that this person is possibly looking at herself or feeling really bad, and what's coming out is what she feels about herself. So you're a liar and a cheat and an energy drainer. Interestingly enough, there was nobody that liked any of her posts. Not one person that I saw. I think there might have been one like. And as friendship goes, I didn't look. I think it was 30, something like that, 30, 31 friends. And no interaction at all, not one interaction with any of them to speak to her or like anything. So an energy drainer, maybe she's possibly an energy drainer. Maybe she is a liar and she's a cheat. You feed from other people's weaknesses. Well, I don't know about you guys, and I'm not being awful to anybody, but anybody who sells timeshares that I've ever met, I'm going to tell you one particular lady who came to me. And she sat crying in front of me. And I've told this story before. And I'm like, this woman is a deceiver. But she's really happy. And she's got Chanel, Prada, Armani. She's got the watch of, like, really this woman's worth a fortune. And she's a deceiver. My cards say clearly she's a deceiver. And she's hurt a lot of people. She starts crying. And she opens up and tells me that she's into timeshare and she creates new websites all the time. And people buy from a website, and they're normally between the ages of 60 and 80. And the timeshare is about 30,000. And she steals that money and the person never gets anything. So I'm not going to tell you who she is because she's on the coast. And I feel proud that I stopped her from doing that from that moment on. And the spirit world said she can do something else. I said, look, there's something else you can do here and you can feel good about yourself. You can stop this. And she changed businesses, and she's got a business on the course, and she left all of that behind. I feel proud of that. I feel proud because she stopped hurting anybody else. Can't do nothing about the past, but I can do something about the future. I actually tried to help people who were pedophiles as well, and that was unsuccessful to a degree. So that's fascinating. So coming back to Jenny, so now that you look into Jenny's life, which is a very common denominator of anger and negative energy. So ask yourself this question: when you're feeling really happy and feeling great and feeling on form, and you feel like you can conquer the world, you're feeling just happy, do you ever scroll down purposely looking at sending bad messages to anybody? It's just a question I'm asking out there. Now, I want to ask you the same question. When you're feeling down, when things are going wrong, when you feel like you're useless, when you feel like you can't get any further in life, do you sometimes scroll and do you feel or think bad thoughts? And could it be that you could be triggered by other people because you're in a very low state? I think predominantly, I'm not saying all the time, because some people, when they're down and feeling bad, they go away. And I often share this with people. Do what the dog does when you're not feeling well. Go away and leave people alone, because your energy can trigger huge issues to other people. Okay. So I think maybe predominantly you will find that when you are not feeling balanced and feeling well, when you feel bad, when you feel weak, when you feel angry, jealous, bitter, begrudged, judgmental, and so on, it's easy to attack. It's easy to fall into the same energy and create even more of that energy. Look to fuel that energy. Because sometimes when you are in that energy, basically what that is a creation of something that didn't work for you. So if it doesn't work for you, it becomes a burden. And if it becomes a burden, then what do you do with it? Well, I give you a great example. Men often beat up women when they've got this fueled energy and they need to get rid of it. They want to get rid of it. The problem is that once you've got rid of it, if you've still got the same issue within your brain, then you create more. So it's a continuation of fueling of that energy until you're able to break the cycle. So that's a fascinating subject. I saw that with a lot of clients who got beat up over the years that what can you do? At the beginning, I was ringing the police to try and help them. That doesn't really help anybody. They get taken somewhere else. They get put into a woman's beaten house in Coyne, and then they're back with a man again. When they're feeling strong and happy again, they go back to the same man, and then they go through the same cycle. So that didn't work. So you have to figure out in time as a healer what works. And what works, there's only one thing that works all the time. And I know it's corny, but it's called love. And love is an energy which is vital, that we all need. And 90% of people don't have it. So what is love? If you look at it as an energy without the word love, it is a high frequency that stimulates, revitalizes, energizes, electrifies the whole of the spacesuit. It clears negative energy instantly, and it heals you on a physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual way. So love, take the word love away and just see it as a different energy. So a healer has to try and help somebody who's in a bad place of low frequency, low energy, low vibration. And it could be many things. Low vibration, low frequency, low energy. It could be many things. It could be your house. Your house could be dirty. Now, dirty is really interesting. The word dirty. And pranic healers use this often. But I figured out what dirty means. It doesn't just mean energy that's heavy and needs cleaning, but it could actually mean your physical. So think about this. If you go to your home today and start spring clean, even though you don't want to, start spring cleaning your whole house, right? Clean out all the drawers, chuck the junk away, clear the dirty stuff out. And I swear to you, that is one of the most healing things you can do for your mind, body, and spirit. Boom. If you're upset, clean the house. Serious. I am not kidding you. I have seen miracles happen when somebody's cleaned their house, their whole house. That is one of the things that breaks that pattern of sadness, depression, anger, jealousy, rage, madness, because you've created something in that house. So, question, what changed? You cleared something out, but what was the action? The action was a positive action of creating something new. So you're creating a new environment. You're creating a new environment outside as you create the new environment inside. So what's outside is inside and what's inside is outside. Fascinating when you start to look at it. Bloody fascinating. So Jenny, bless her heart. What did I do when I saw that? Was I upset? I'm like, oof, that's a bit heavy. What did I do? I looked at it and thought, I feel really sorry for Jenny. I literally feel sorry for Jenny. So what I did was I sent her a message and I'm saying wholeheartedly, Jenny, I am sorry. I didn't see your message and please forgive me. And I would love for you to please send me your name, address, email address, telephone number. And Jenny, I'm going to send you a beautiful trio, which is Moldavite, and I explained what it was. Then I said, I'm going to send you a beautiful oil of sacred mix. And I've just created a new oil called, well, I didn't create it. Don Tolman created it, or the Egyptians created it. And I said, I would like to give you some of this. If you've got any issues with your skin, your body, it's great. And I mentioned some of the key points. I also said that I'm going to send my books, they're signed with love, with your name on, and you can do what you want with all of these things. You can give them away, you can burn them, you can throw them away, but I just wanted to apologize in some way. And then about maybe 3 or 4 hours later, I got a massive message that said, Jenny said, I don't know what to say. I don't know what is wrong with me. It was something like that. I am, and then it went into a full length, and I read it all, and it was basically pouring her heart and telling me that she's in a bad place. She's not got her own home. Everything's gone wrong. So I read it all, and I said, well, the best I can do is what I'll send to you with love, and I hope it helps. And that was it. She said, thank you. And it was done. So from Jenny, who believed I was evil, that I am an evil deceiver, that I don't know you, but I see through your lies and cheats, and you're an energy drainer. You feed from others people's weaknesses. I hate you, signed evil. 2, I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. And at the end of all of that, there was a thank you. That was it. Okay, so from evil to thank you, and everything's changed. So what does this mean? What does that mean? What do words mean? They mean nothing. Absolutely zero. Nothing. Nothing. Unless you create them to mean something. They have no power unless you give them power. Unless you give it focus, and then you start to feed it and start to ask yourself, am I evil? What's wrong with me? What's this? What's that? Then you're feeding it. And then you're feeding everything. You're feeding the person that said it. You're feeding you, and you're feeding the darkness. And I'd like to get to the point where the greatest point is this. When you are in that place of darkness, many things can occur. There's a spiral that happens where when you start to invest into somebody else's words and you look for reasons why, you begin to delve into a very murky world that is a very low vibration. Because a lot of people who would see that would instantly defend it. And then defending can sometimes lead to attacking. So again, in the energy of defending and attacking, it can be a low frequency, not high. Okay. Some people are very good at defending, but in a way that doesn't attack. I'm not good at that. I'm just like, I better not say anything because it's not good. Just don't even go there. But the good thing about it is if you can change the way your energy creates, the way you see things instantly and change that frequency to, I feel so sorry for this person. Literally, I feel so sorry for them. I didn't feel like I went, oh, wow. But then I felt bad for the person. I didn't want to attack them. I didn't want to delete them because I don't want to feed that. But I just want to, first of all, apologize for not being able to, speak to you because I didn't see the message up until a short time ago. And this person must have contacted me. I don't know. I didn't even look at when they contacted me. So by breaking that cycle, that energy that this person has, because most people will never look at themselves and always choose an exterior or another person to send their energy or their excuse in their weaknesses and pain and suffering, because they don't want to look at themselves or look at their situation. They don't want to look at their lifestyle. They don't want to look at their health and well-being. They don't want to look at their spiritual path. They don't want to know who they are or what they are because it sometimes is too dark or the reflection is too hurtful. I understand that. So it's easier to point a finger. But the point being, Jenny is only one of thousands. But the point being is, what do you do with that energy when you are in that cesspit of feeling pain and suffering? Because when you're in that energy, you are creating that energy. So ultimately, is breaking that energy instantly. But if you can't, and your brother said something awful, or your sister has, and you feel so much pain because you can't believe your sister or your brother or your best friend or your lover has said that, okay? Just if you're in it, now what happens is your energy frequency as a healer looking at you can instantly see there's something very off, there's something wrong. So your energy normally is about 3 inches around your body. If you're high frequency, you're laughing and joking, it sometimes can be 5 to 10 inches. If you're doing meditation and you're going deep, if you're doing healing, your energy can be through the roof. Okay, so roughly about 3 inches that I see. It can be often a frequency that vibrates at a certain frequency that I can see around you as it's vibrating. As a cloud, how does it vibrate? Where's it moving to? Is it moving to your heart? Is it moving to your head? Is it erratic? I've noticed that when people take the jabs, within the space of those few weeks, their energy around them is erratic. It looks like a heartbeat monitor, a heart monitor, and it's all over the place, but there's no set patterns. I call it erratic. It's just crazy. It's going all over. And like, wow, something's really off. When do I see that? I often see it with people with cancer. So I can spot somebody with cancer by looking at their energy and saying, that looks like there's a cancer. Now, what is cancer? Cancer is basically a scream of help, that something in the body, there is toxins in the body somewhere that needs to be released in a way that doesn't affect the body. So imagine you've got a beautiful field and you nurture this field and it's green grass and it's lovely and it's growing and it's gorgeous. But just over in that corner, there's a bomb that was planted in there, a mine in World War II, and it's just in that corner, right? It's just been buried in there and it can go off at any time, right? That is how I see it. Okay, like there's something going to go off there. And it's true to say that if you cut laser burn, what happens is it spreads and it blows up and causes disaster all over the body. So of course your body's going to scream that we're trying to take all your poisons, all your toxins, all your dirty, dark and evilness that's been created by man, and we put it into a sack, and we're trying to protect your whole body. So it's in this sack, and sometimes it comes out in a lump in your body. So these are the things that I see when I look at your energy field. I can feel if you've got there's normally for me, energy shows itself in certain ways that I can kind of say, okay, I recognize that. So recognition of losing a family member or a doggy, cat, family member, same thing. It normally resonates in your heart. So your heart frequency, energy around your heart, and actually on your back as well. Them two frequencies are, they look like they're out of control, and they move in a way that is not normal. And it feels like you want to slow it down. And sometimes that same frequency appears on the temples. So the brain and the heart combines together to try and relieve the pain of grief, which is very difficult. Grief is a hard energy to relieve yourself. A healer can help you feel a bit better, but can never fix you, can never fix the issue. The only thing that a healer can do is, in time, change the way you see things. Death is death in the sense of we never die, but we all experience it. And it's not something that you can say, oh yeah, I'm over it now. Yeah, he healed me and I'm fixed. No, it doesn't work like that. Because when spirit comes into your energy, because spirit wants to try and help heal you because you are feeling grief, then if there's a double whammy. Because I often see spirit around people who have who are in grief, right? It's hard to explain this one, but right. So I often used to say to people at the beginning of this healing work, when people say, is somebody all right in the spirit world? Like my dad died, is he okay? Is he at peace? And I would say to them, the only way I can explain it is this. Are you at peace with your dad in the spirit world? No, I'm not. Then your dad's not. What do you mean? Well, if I was to explain it in full detail, around you is your father. He's always around you. Why? Because your father wants you to feel better. If you feel better, then he can be at peace. Okay? It's like if I go now and leave my daughter, right? And I'm in the spirit world and my daughter's crying. Do you think I'm just going to leave her? I'm going to want to try and help and heal her till she's better. I'm all right. I couldn't be happier. I'm in the spirit world. I am all that I ever am, and I always will be, and I do not die. I am the power. I am the love of the whole of the ocean. I am one. I'm all right. I'm back home. I've done my time in that earth jail, prison, satanic, crazy, loony bin clown factory. So my daughter's upset. So what am I going to do? Of course, I'm a good dad. Of course, I'm a good person. I want to go back and help. So I spend every day trying to heal them. But the problem there lies that there's a double-edged sword. When spirit comes to try and heal somebody, if that person does not want to be healed because they're feeling too much pain, they can't get healed. And the most important point of that is that when spirit comes, your consciousness knows spirit's there. So it's like, why do I keep feeling my dad? Why do I keep feeling bad thoughts of my dad? Why do I feel like I wasn't good enough, or he never told me what I needed to hear? Why is it that I feel guilt? Why is it that why am I so sad that he's gone? Why can't I touch him and hold him again? Why am I feeling all of these feelings? Because he's there. He's right there because of your feeling all of them feelings. And dad, stop being too close to your daughter or your sister or your brother because they're picking up you. So then it comes into their thought because they don't know you're there, but they can feel something, and that feeling turns to thought. So you try to understand what the feeling is you're feeling, and of course, you're going to think of the somebody that you love. So it's constant. So the only way I could break that cycle is saying, soon as you find your happiness, and soon as you are happy, your dad's happy. And it's hard for people to understand that, grasp it. Like me, my mum died when I was 12 years old. I'm happy. I don't ever feel sadness. And now she comes and goes when she does. And when she does, I feel tears. I feel joy. She helps me. It's wonderful. She's not dead. The only thing that's dead around here is me. I have to wake myself up every morning and realize, Jesus, I'm in this spacesuit, and I have to figure out what I'm doing, where I'm going, and all the emotions that I have to sift through, and all the understanding and the learning that never stops, and all the pain and suffering that I see. And it's like, come on, Mark, don't tell me that I'm alive and my mum's dead. No, my mum's alive and we're bloody dead. That's how I see it. So when you understand this, and you understand energy, and you understand the spirit world being of an energy which is high frequency, you start to see that there is no, with healing anyway, not, I believe it's with nearly everything, but you can believe what you want. I only tell you what I see. When people come into this room for a healing session because they were guided to come here, I stopped saying, who told you about this place? How did you get to find out about this place? I kept feeling bad. Why did you even ask that? And I could hear my mum saying, why are you even asking that question? Don't you realize that they're brought to you not by their own thought, but by the power of the spirit world? I'm like, yeah, geez, what a stupid question. They got here because of a divine energy, something that we don't see or understand. Oh, I heard from so-and-so. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't hear from somebody. That was purposely created for you to be in that divine moment, to overhear something or read something or see something that brings you purposely to the right person to help. Phenomenal. So I stopped even asking that question because I know exactly why they came, because your family and spirit brought you to where you need to be. And to confirm that, as I'm doing a healing session on somebody who, let's say, has done something really bad, I mean, really bad that they wish they hadn't have done, okay? To themselves, they feel it's really bad. I don't, but whatever you do, no problem. I don't see it as bad. It's just your journey. So they're crying because they wish they hadn't have done it, but they needed to do it because they couldn't live a life that they wanted to lead if they were to continue doing what was happening inside their body. So they needed that to go. So now they have to deal with the suffering, the pain, the guilt of what they've done inside their body. And many women do it all the time. Sometimes it happens naturally. Sometimes it happens because they just feel as if, and don't ever get upset with me. Oh, you this, you that. No, you know nothing. Don't point the finger. I've had women who've been raped by Moroccan men. Horrible men. 3, 2, 1. And they've done so much damage to them. You think she wants to carry that child? Don't point the finger unless unless you've been in that situation. That's why I don't point fingers unless you've been in that situation. So as they're lying down, you're giving a healing session. And a lot of the times they want to understand, why do I not understand what's going on? Why is all of these things happening to me? And I had to dig deep. I'm not a good psychic. I'm not a good healer. I work hard at being those things. It's not a natural gift in the sense that I'm the best and I'm the power. No, I have to work at it. So I worked at it every day. And I learned from my mistakes. My mistakes was my mind kicking in. Shut up, mind. Don't speak. You're ruining everything. And I learned to channel. But channeling can only happen when you're in a good, positive place, or else you're not channeling. You're just speaking, or you're just thinking from the brain. So, you've got to understand these things. Is this channeling, or is this me just speaking? Is this just wonderful things that I want to hear? So these things are really important. But I found that when I'm healing a lady that has gone through a difficult situation, I used to try and explain that the situation that they went through is a painful situation. However, the life that comes into the spacesuit is a life that chose to come. And right now, as I'm healing you, I see a child, and I see this child coming back inside in 3 years or so. And it's going to be the most beautiful energy in your life. And you are going to now ask them, but why did they go? Why did this have to happen? I said, well, sometimes Spirit chooses to enter, because if you believe in this idea of coming into this world and choosing and writing the script, it's already written, then many things happen by coincidence and what have you, if you believe in all that. But ultimately, you can only heal somebody as far as their path allows. So if a child chooses to come into the spacesuit, into this little body for a day, an hour, a moment, that is an experience of our spirit world, experiencing that love, pain, suffering, because you can feel everything when you're inside a tummy. You feel all the words, you feel all the abuse from a husband beating the wife, you feel all the abuse from the smoke and poisons that they eat. It's the same experience, but it might be for a shorter time. But there is no such thing as space and time. That's your programming. So we choose to come for the time that we come. So when you explain this to a beautiful lady sat down saying that what you went through is something that you have to grow stronger from, and I've had personal experience by being abused, and my family, many of us have had that personal experience of knowing our family's been abused by somebody. We have two choices at that given moment. We can either be the victim or we can be the stronger and grow from it and become more powerful. Most people become the victim. I know many victims, but some are more powerful than that. Let it go, move on and grow. So then when you go back to the spirit world, you bring forward a new energy of how you grew, understood, and learned the experience from it, which then goes to the collective of the spirit world that grows. So this is the beautiful thing. This is always blows me away, right? So as I'm working on a client who didn't tell me anything, but laid down and cried, and I could feel there was pain and suffering. And then all of a sudden at the foot of the bed, there is an energy. And as I close my eyes, I see a child, and a child, which is a girl or a boy, because they show themselves in this way. And so I see a girl, and I'll say the color of hair, color of eyes, what she's wearing. They'll show me everything. And then I'll just say it. And sometimes I will just say that your beautiful daughter will be back in 3 years. And then they'll burst into tears. And then I'll explain to them that, what do you mean back? What do you mean coming back? Well, she's been with you once. And I know then that the person's either had a miscarriage or she's had to say, I can't deal with this because of certain circumstances. And then the guilt, the suffering disappears, because I say, I can see your daughter. She wants to connect with you. Go down to the beach, walk along that beach, pick up a pebble, sit down and hold that pebble in your hand and think of a name. As soon as you've got that name, I want you to write it on the pebble somewhere and keep the pebble with you, and know that in 3 years, she's going to come back to you. So sometimes it might be 2 years, or it might be whatever. I don't know. Wasn't brilliant on time, but sometimes I was pretty good, but not always. But the point being, it's not the time. The point being is that they now have a new connection to their family in spirit. So this beautiful little girl is going to come back. And often people used to say, oh, guess what? What you said came true. And I'm like, I don't know what I said. Sometimes I'll remember certain things like this. They'll spring back and I remember that. And this particular lady did have a child, and it was a girl. And she was over the moon. And the husband was just the man that she didn't know. She hadn't met even at that point. I can't even explain how I did him a healing session and a reading. He was the most beautiful man I'd met. He was gorgeous. So it was like, what a beautiful ending and a beginning. What I'm trying to say, I know I've gone off on one, but what I'm saying is that when you understand energy, when you understand the spirit world, which I understand a little bit, I know, like somebody said, Emma Lou said, 1 grain of sand is what we know about our spirit world and what they share with us. That's probably what I know. So I know there's so much more to learn, but what I share with you is instances of how healing works. You can never heal when you hold grief in your heart and your head. Your body, physical body, will deteriorate and become sick, and you will eventually have a body that will not work as it should do. And you need a body that works, okay? Because that's how you experience life. So the best thing about life is to have a healthy body. Now, we can't always have a healthy body because of the way we work in life and the way we interact and who comes into our life and what happens in our life. But we can try and maintain the body as best we can by drinking water and by investing in maybe water with no fluoride in, and so on and so on. Sometimes I'll eat nuts, which are corn. Not brilliant to eat because they've got like a colouring on it. Not good. So I know that I eat too much of that. It's not good. I might have some every now and again, but mainly I eat pistachios, which predominantly 90% pistachios. Maybe sometimes I'll buy some of these. Don't know why, but I just do. I don't beat myself up over eating anything anymore because I've realized that the worst poison you can give yourself is guilt of eating something that you know isn't good for your body, because that's a triple whammy. So if you're going to eat something that you think it's not too good, eat it with happiness and joy and love and see it beautiful and see it healing. Much better. So going back to Jenny and the hate and then the love and then the pain and then the forgiveness and then the letting go and then changing of energy. Basically, it's all energy. So she wasn't angry per se. It was just energy. It was a release. It was a release of how she's feeling, because if she was feeling happy, do you think she'd have wrote that? So when you understand this and you don't become personal anymore, it's not personal. And this is a beautiful thing to understand as well, guys. When you are a healer, if you become personal, you become a shit healer and you become drained. What do you mean? I've got to be personal. I've got to feel that person. Yeah, you do, but only for a few seconds. Okay, I felt Jenny. I felt it, but don't become personal. Don't get personal. Just feel it. Okay, I felt it. So what I'm trying to say is that pure energy healing and energy and healing, that your frequency and vibration should be high. By becoming personal and getting involved and focused on always the wrong thing and, oh, but she needs my love. No, that's personal. Get away. That love will be given by our spirit world. So what I saw, you might ask, what do you mean? Why? How becoming personal? Surely I should become personal. No, there is a difference between wanting to help somebody and becoming too personal. So what we teach in the Pure Energy Healing Academy on, I think it's day 2, maybe, or day 3. I don't know. If you've ever taken the course, you'll understand. We've got a course coming in October. Take it. You'll understand then. You'll understand all the beauty and all the understanding of this. It's a beautiful course, and the price is 275 sliding scale right down now. So it's a normal price of 550, but if you can't afford it, it's 275. This is for 4 days. It's a brilliant course, just on a side note. But anyway, so the healing bed's behind me where them sofas are. So the client lies down. Somebody walks through into this room who is crying because they've lost somebody that day. You feel that pain, but instead of letting go and say, okay, I felt it, because that's what my spacesuit and my consciousness does. It has to understand and feel, just like you're aware of certain circumstances. But don't get too deep into it. Just feel it. Okay, I've acknowledged it. I feel it. So what do I do? If you start feeling it more and more and feeling their pain, all you're doing is confirming to them by your face and your sadness and saying, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, dear. Oh, my goodness. You're confirming to them that everything's bad. Everything's wrong. Everything's bad. Nothing, this is so. You don't want to be sat with somebody who's meant to be a healer who's just confirming everything. That's why I tell people, it's okay. It's fine. We'll get you strong again. You'll be fine after this. Let's get you fixed. Let's get you healed. Let's get you back on your feet again. That's a better energy, okay? Because you're eliminating what they're trying to throw at you. Because what they're trying to throw at you is what they want you to feel. But yes, I do feel it. But now I don't need to feel it anymore. I need to get on and do the fixing of it. Okay, let's heal this. But if you fall for that feeling that, and this can be anybody in your family, if you can fall for that and feel bad and you think that you're doing good, you're not. You're causing more of a confirmation to them that everything's wrong. So as a healer, we smile, we lay them down, and we start the healing work. As I watch practitioners heal, I can tell when somebody is so personally involved and so feeling bad for this person. I can spot it a mile off. And if somebody's there as being a healer, as the healer should do, I can see how easy. The person who feels personal towards that person and wants to heal them no matter what, they will start to open their heart and start to pour their natural energy, which I call the battery life that we hold, and we give them that energy to make them feel better. Afterwards, that person that became so personally involved that the only energy that they can channel is coming out of their heart, which is their own energy. They sit down and they're exhausted. They're exhausted. A true healer, a true shaman can heal through the whole of the day, no matter what circumstances are. And at the end, they want to go out at night and party. So I learned this, and I made that mistake many times. Poured my heart out. I wanted to fix them, and then it took me a week to get over it. I was exhausted. Therefore, we step out of the way of the feeling of what that person's felt, because we felt it now. We don't need to feel it anymore. And then we begin the healing work, which is an energy that is either from Mother Earth, the cosmos around us, and the spirit world, that then uses as the catalyst, as the beautiful empty vessel to then fill this certain energy coming through your legs and up through your body and out of your hands, down through your crown chakra and through your shoulders and down through your hands. Or the spirit world moves straight into you and just moves all that energy through your hands. All three are beautiful. But the one that is the one that I shake my head and think, poor you, you're going to be exhausted at the end of this, is when you become personal. So everything as a healer is everything as a normal day life. So, like a healer is just you. That's why I say we're all natural healers, because what I see here as what we do is exactly what we do outside in the world. We sometimes become too personal and then we're exhausted. Anyway, these are just some of the things that I'd like to share with you to help you just go away and ponder on and think about. So I always like to leave it on a final note. We've done 47 minutes. Let's do 10 minutes of certain things that will help you through the day. So a lot of people talk about negative energy. Negative energy is normally felt in a house. You can normally feel it, but some people can't because they're in a bad place. I recommend natural lemons to be put all over the house, one in each room. Keep an eye on the lemon. If the lemon goes off, then there's a strong chance that that room is of negative energy. That's one thing. Second thing is nice music, flute music, and if there's something heavier in the house, French Gregorian chants played through the whole of the day. Beautiful. Third, clear the house, tidy it, clean it. Take all your cleaning products, throw them in the bin, and get natural vinegar and put it in a spray bottle and clean your house with vinegar. Okay. There's a natural healing process with vinegar. It's the best cleaner in the world. Okay. Sacred mist. Once you've bought a bottle, you can just keep filling it. So that's only available at Lemon House. Lemonhouse.com has sacred mist. So I have bottles over here and I spray the room all the time and myself through the day, sometimes once a day, sometimes 3 times a day, depending on what I'm doing. I'll spray the room and that gives good energy. When the bottle's halfway down, refill it again, because as long as you've got the memory of all of those waters, blessed waters that we've got from all over the world, it's fantastic. So it's just another thing. You can create your own blessed water if you're in a good space. So if you're feeling really positive, you hold the water and put good energy into it. You have to focus your mind and thoughts and your heart and your energy, everything into it. Just put it into it. Not too long, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. That's it. And then let it go when you're feeling happy. You don't want to exhaust yourself. Just a few minutes. That's just channeled energy. Put it down. Leave it now. there is certain times that you can use your heart energy when you're working on yourself and doing yourself, but you normally understand that when you're working on yourself and it's something like this, you're not exhausted at the end of it. So just so I don't make a mistake there, you can use your heart energy at certain things, right? But not too much. You've got to understand that, or else you're exhausted. Okay, so cleansing negative energy sticks, Palo Santo, sage the house, sage yourself. Fantastic. Certain crystals that I like to use when I'm really trying to strengthen my energy and trying to clear away negativity and all of these things. I'm going to reel some of them off now because some of them are really powerful, and then you can choose yourself. You might have some, but keep them in your pocket or around your neck. Ultimately, I like wearing the trios. That's Moldavite, Tektite, and Herkimer Diamond. They are the perfect, for me anyway, the perfect trio, right? But you can wear them separate. I would recommend more Moldavite and Tektite. Herkimer Diamond is good, but not for what I'm talking about today. So they work together well, but separately, Herkimer Diamond, just leave that aside. So Sleeping Beauty, any kind of physical issues and negative issues and emotional issues with regards to physical issues. Sleeping Beauty can be found. I still think it can be found, but they've stopped mining it. But it's the form of turquoise. But turquoise isn't the same as Sleeping Beauty in the sense of how it works. Turquoise works in a different manner. Sleeping Beauty turquoise from that mine, which is no longer mined, is the crystal that I'm talking about. It's fantastic for physical and helps in many ways. Dark energy. Black Moonstone, fabulous. Black Moonstone. They call it black feldspar, but Black Moonstone is what I work with. There's another crystal that I can never really say the name, but it's a very beautiful crystal. It's kind of like white and red, if I right, and it's Kakokokite, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember it word for word, but anyway, there's that. Bumblebee is an amazing. I made a video today actually, a bumblebee, and I can't really describe the power of Bumblebee, but it's incredible energy for negativity. Bumblebee. Pink chalcedony is fabulous for protection and clearing of negative energy. And another crystal that is fairly popular as well, that you can get anywhere, is labradorite. I can never say that word. So they're just some crystals that I recommend you wear for negative, dirty, heavy, and dark energy. Now, I could keep going on, guys, and go down deep dives on energy and talking about energies that are not of this world and energies that are currently becoming stronger, and we are allowing them into our life more. So the point being that if you want to clear yourself of all dirty, dark, heavy, negative energies, demonic, spirit trapped in between two worlds, which isn't the strongest and best of energies, and also entities and the other things that are happening with many portals, if you believe that opening, and there's more heavier energy and different and weird energies that I've ever felt in my life. I can't get my head around just yet, but I think the main focus that these darker energies are focusing on people with hate, with fear, with anger, with sadness, with feeling lost. So ultimately, my message today is if you want to be free from any kind of attack, and it's all an attack. Jenny could have been an attack. She could have been attacked. And normally when you're attacked, you want to spread it like a zombie spreads his disease. It's the same thing. You want everybody to be in that cesspit of zombie mentality or anger mentality, or you want everybody to be angry because you're fueling the same fuel that's within you. So to break that is to recognize it. And I think ultimately the final message today is that if you recognize that that energy is not yours, that it is created, and it's not a thing that is you, it's what passes you by. See you later. I don't want you anymore. Yeah, I know, I felt you. See you later. Go away. The analogy that I used to use years ago is that we've got a little tiny devil in our mind. I used to see a little devil in my mind saying, and he was Irish, I'm not going anywhere. I love it here. You love it. You love me. You love having a fight with me every day. You love like, oh, I'm staying right where I am. No, go. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm staying here. I'll fight you tooth and nail. I'll have you. And I'll say, no, you won't. I'm not even gonna play anymore. I do not recognize you as me, and you are not me. You are an energy that is not part of my energy. It's been created and you can move it, and see you later. It's gone. Cleanse yourself. Do all the things that I said on here, the list here that I wrote. Cleanse yourself. Use sage, all of these things. Meditation, mantras, chants, anything that'll lift your high vibration, beautiful music, anything that'll raise your vibration. Dream well, dream big, dream beautiful. All of these things that will clear the heavy energy that the darkness is 24 hours trying to create within you. Don't let it. You are an antenna for any radio station you want. So finally, guys, attune to Radio Love. Be that radio station. That's my message today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope you got some things to think about. And let's say we've got, 4 minutes before we hit the 1 hour mark. I've done this from my heart with love. I haven't done it to sell anything. I do sell things and I'm proud of selling them. And I could think of selling a lot more worse things in the world. Okay, so what I sell is everything in here is what I use every day. All my oils, incense, teas, everything that I sell, I use every day. If I take you into the other room, you'll see all my dream catchers. They're all on the walls. My crystals I wear all the time. All my oils are here. I rub my oils on it every day. Incense I use every day. Don Tolman's oil I use every day, which we have now created. God in a bottle again. Beautiful. So yeah, I use my tarot cards. I share tarot lessons. There's a tarot course that I do. Everything that I've learned, I share with you. Yeah, I do charge. Of course I do, but I do these videos as well and I don't charge. I've done 2,300 videos. I did it out of love. Didn't do it out of anything else. And I help people every day out of love. So I got my balance. And I feel good about myself and I have no guilt inside me. Even when I share these things with you, I share it because some people wonder. And I like to tell people I have no fear of talking to people. A guy said to me the other day, I'd like to do an interview with you about what you do. You know, I'm just going to leave you on something just so you know. I had an interview not so long ago with a guy who says, I want to interview you, but I want to ask you some hard questions. And I said, yeah, sure. As long as you can have some hard questions back at you. And he says, what do you mean? I'm the interviewer. I said, no, it works both ways, mate. You can't just throw everything at me. I want to be able to, we should be able to have a banter. I'm happy to talk about anything. So we had an interview and I think he got like 55,000 followers, something like that, or subscribers on YouTube. So it came up, it was Zoom and he comes on and I says, are you all right? He said, yeah, fine. I says, yeah, your energy is not good, pal. And he said, what are you talking about? I says, I already know you're in to try and fire me down. I said, but why don't you just lighten up a little bit because your energy is bloody horrible. And he said, no, it's not horrible. It's fine. I'm fine. I said, no, you're not fine. I said, you're panicking. You're like worried about this. I said, don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you. And he's saying, well, I'm going to be asking you the questions. I'm saying, okay, then fire away. So I got my drink and I'm interested. I'm smiling. I'm thinking, whoa, his energy is dreadful. And he's bitter. He's angry. It's like, whoa, but he's trying to hold it in. But I ain't got nothing to hide. So why should I be worried about anything? So go on then. So he starts. You this and you that. I said, yeah, well, let's talk about it. Okay, then. How come you charge so much for your crystal? I said, I knew that would come in. I said, well, you've got to understand my crystal to start with. And then I started explaining where I go for my crystals, where I find them. Don't buy them from China. I hunt all over the place, and it takes time to find certain crystals. I want to get the right fair crystal, so I have to pay more money than somebody who buys from raping of whatever, and that's normally the Chinese, sometimes the Indians. So I don't really want to buy from them. I want to buy from clear sources. So there's pockets of sources here, families who dig, and I want to buy off them. But that's not going to be like 50 cents. That's going to be like €4, or it's 10 euros, or it's 20 euros, or it's 50 euros. So it's not like €1 or by weight. So that's one reason. Second reason, when I get it, I have to pay the person who buys it for me, because I have people who buy them for me and they're friends. So now I've got to pay them. Then when it comes to me, I start working on it. So I'll sit with that crystal and work for it for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And then when I've finished, it might be 10 hours, it might be 20 hours. Once I've done that, and then I have to send it to Bali, then they have to pay the Balinese, and I pay them well, better than anybody else. And then they come back again. So now you can see that that crystal is no longer the crystal that you go to the shop, what they normally buy from China in bulk, and they're selling it for 15 euros. I said, that's why. And I said, and then he says, well, what about your readings? You were a reader, you were charging 120. I said, yeah, I was, right. So I started telling him about my readings, and I said, I did readings, yeah, and I used to make 120. I said, but there were other people who came to me that had just lost a family member, and they were crying, and they might have lost their daughter. And after I finished the healing session, I give them a cuddle, and they'd try and pay, and I wouldn't let them pay. I said, no, there's no charge for stuff like this. And I give them a hug, and they go. And I'd do maybe, I don't know, maybe in a day, I'd do 3 that were happy to pay because they come for information. They want good energy, and they get up and they're happy to pay, no problem. But there's a lot of times that I didn't pay. And if I look at the whole scheme of things, the hours that I would work in a day that I would give freely would be at least between 30 and 40%, and sometimes 100%. Sometimes I wouldn't even charge in that day. I would literally be online giving help all that day for no charge. So can I ask you a question now? What do you do for a living? And he told me what he did for a living. And I said, what have you ever done for anybody? When was the last time you gave somebody something? When was the last time you gave 40% of your time and your love to help somebody? When have you ever worked for no money at all? End broadcast. End broadcast. He's gone. He's gone. Yeah. The one that's pointing a finger at me is the one that is that very person that he's pointing his finger at. And thus, the moral of today's message is that when anybody is attacking you, it is a mirror image of who they are most of the time. Not all of the time, but most of the time. So that interview never came up. And I can give you at least 15 other people that did the same thing, that did the interview, and that never knocked it off, but never put the interview up because they never got the result of what they wanted. Because you can't fool somebody who tells the truth and admits when he's wrong and says, I make freaking mistakes and I'm sorry, I've made a mistake. And yeah, you can't. You can only do that to cheats and people who constantly try and fool people, but you see through them. You can't fool anybody. You can see through them. But I have to say there's something genius, there's something amazing, there's something profound about people who try and attack other people. And that is that they cannot see their own reflection of why they're doing what they're doing. It's incredible. They just don't see it. But there you go. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. Have a great day, guys. Do you want to ask any questions? Fire away. This is a very, very common thing, Chris, and this is to do with energy within the crystal. All crystals are living entities, so they're like living, like me and you. They live like a tree and a plant. It lives unless, a plant gets pulled out and then there is no life. But a crystal is always with life. I see always with life. and they can change color, they can change structure, they can change in so many ways. They can break, they can crack. And that's how I see it. There is a point, okay, so there are also crystals that are not crystals, and that they are painted. They're painted. So this is a painted turquoise. Funnily enough, we're talking about Sleeping Beauty. So this is a painted turquoise. Can you see here, there, the white there? That's where they missed the paint off. Okay, so that's been hand painted. It's been painted to look like turquoise. It's not turquoise. If I smash this now, it's all white inside. It's crushed turquoise. But what I'm saying is that sometimes you can buy little pieces that are mounted, and then the sun gets to it. If I put this out in the sun, it'll go lighter and lighter and lighter. Okay, so normally that would be a case where it's a fake. But if it's the other way around, then that doesn't make any sense unless something has happened to the structure of the crystal and it's morphed into a different energy. That would be my understanding. And I have looked that Sleeping Beauty is the most crazy and bizarre crystal I've ever worked with. The things that have happened with that crystal, if you go to Mark Bayersky home page and then scroll down, you'll see that I wrote a book, and one of the books that I wrote is on there's one chapter available to listen to. So it's an audio book. You'll scroll down and see it and click on it and just listen to it. It's a free chapter. It's all about Sleeping Beauty. And that was just one of so many different things that have happened with Sleeping Beauty. What does it mean? It can mean so many things. Just get into your head that a crystal can change frequency, energy, and morph and do anything because of many different energy connections. So when it's connected to certain energies of yours and what your energy is at the moment, it can happen. There is no real right. You can't just say, oh, it's for that reason. What I did find with Sleeping Beauty is that a lot of the times, this is personal, by the way, this is only personal. I can't say this is real, but I felt one time when I was wearing a Sleeping Beauty that within an hour, I started feeling a chest pain. And my family said, are you okay? I said, no, I think I've got cancer in my chest. And they went, Jesus Christ, are you serious? I said, yeah, I think I've got cancer in my chest. Why? I says, well, I'm wearing Sleeping Beauty and the crystal is on fire and I can feel it. So when I touched the crystal, it was boiling hot and I could feel my chest. And I thought, I actually knew I had something bad in my chest a long time ago. And because I was a healer, I was working on it. So what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to stop eating shit. I'm going to just eat healthy. I'm going to eat raw. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to drink a lot and I'm going to heal myself. And I believe that crystal woke me up to realizing that I need to heal my body. Now, I don't believe in the word cancer. I believe in the word energy, bad energy. So it's just dirty energy and I can move it and clear it away. And that's what I did. So that can sound bullshit to anybody, right? Anybody can say that, bullshit, but that's what I feel. But I did recognize that Sleeping Beauty was like a lemon to disease. It could pick it up. So that's why I like Sleeping Beauty. There you go. There you go. Somebody else is even saying it, from blue to green, depending on the humidity. So there you go. It could be humidity of the body. There's so many reasons as well. So many reasons. And you can't just say it's for that. I don't buy into it's just for that. Like Tektite, it absorbs negative energy. It does, but it does so many other things. And it's powerful and it protects you against darkness. It's incredible. Same with Moldavite. It's not just one thing. There's so many amazing things. Don't try and understand. Don't try and understand why people have taken the vaccines. I wouldn't. There's no point. Don't get personally involved. Don't get involved. If you listen to this conversation today, don't get involved. Just let people be. That's their decision, their choice. I honor you and respect you, but don't try and pull them down or figure it out. They are who they are. They're going through their own ways. There is actually some people who believe that people have come here for this purpose. I don't believe that, but maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe we're all here for a certain purpose. You know, was all the people who tried to change the world here for that purpose? Well, what does that mean? Does that mean they have to be famous, or could they just be one person in a village or a home that has to go through this to help other people raise the consciousness? You know what? Better looking at it at this way. Maybe they're here to sacrifice without even realizing, to help us so that we can see and help others. You know what? I think that's probably better than us going crazy in our heads, trying to make them understand. And there is a slight ego involved in that. We want to feel better because now they know, you know what? It's okay. Just let it be. That would be my view. I don't want you to feel hurt. I took green fluoride to Hawaii, and then when I unpacked it, it had turned from emerald green to blue on top. That's beautiful. I love that. I love the fact that crystals change. I just love it. It's like, for me, I found that fluoride was one for sure. I can't say this on all of them. Diana Marie is one of my favorites from UK, fluoride, and that changes color from inside to outside because of the color, because of the light, the energy of the light. But when it's around us, or when we move to another country, you can see the energy changes, which then should give you an idea of, wow, you know, when a crystal moves from place to place, it changes energy because of where the energy is on that planet. It's incredible how it works. How to protect stray animals. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I've done my bit with animals. I don't really know. It's hard work. It's hard work. I don't know what that means, Grace, to be honest. Is looking to find out how to protect stray. What does that mean? How to protect stray animals? How can you protect stray animals? I don't even know how to. I wouldn't, you know, it's their path, it's their journey. Strays, it's their journey. If somebody finds them and loves them and takes them in, again, that's part of the journey that spirit is in that body. Because I see animals like you and I. The drop of consciousness that goes into an animal is the same drop of consciousness that goes into this spacesuit. So yeah, we do our best. So do I. I mean, gosh, how many stray animals have I picked up and helped over the years? How many donkeys have I tried to help? It's like we just do our best. That's it. From the pure flowing water, I have a request from a friend. If it's distilled, need to put it in the sun. Exactly. Always put it in the sun. Good for you. I'm wearing my multi-vine trio every day and clean. Smoke sage. Brilliant. I know. I saw that in America. A guy, a famous guy in America, he had a shop and he was saging out. Oh no, it wasn't sage. It's Palo Santo. It was Palo Santo in all these crystals before they left the shop. Well, that was fascinating. Sacred oil. You must refill sacred oil. Absolutely. With filtered water is perfect. But I think somebody's just said that. Put it out into the sunlight because it brings back a lot of things into that energy as well. But yes, definitely. All right, guys. That's quite a deep question, Gaia Love Warrior. How to free ourselves from others. Basically, what you're saying is that you're imprisoned in yourself because of somebody else, right? Because what you're saying is you're trying to free yourself from others, which means you're imprisoned in yourself. You're not imprisoned in them. You're imprisoned in yourself. The intention so we can receive opportunities. I don't know really how to answer that. I mean, I've been in situations where I've seen my clients being in a house with a mother who can't do anything, and she's stuck, and she has to look after the mother, and she's crying all the time because the mother's awful to her. And you know, that's kind of like being imprisoned in yourself. It's such a difficult one, because you've got this. For me, I think we with every situation we have to learn, and if we just continue to help somebody who continues to be that same person that needs to learn, then nobody's learned anything. You haven't learned anything, and they haven't learned anything, and you've just gone along and carried on. So people used to get upset with me, but I'd say, well, if this person's always going to treat you this way, why are you helping them? Because it's my mother. Oh, okay. So because it's your mother and it's blood, that no matter what she says and does to you every day, that you feel that she's entitled to do that. Yes, then you've imprisoned yourself. So forget the mother. It could be anybody. It could be your children. It could be anybody. No. If you live with somebody and you live with love and kindness, then you don't even have a second thought about helping and giving and caring. It's just a beautiful thing that you want to do, because I want to help somebody who is loving and kind and caring. I've tried to help somebody who's a narcissistic, who's jealous and angry, and all that did is cause me suffering, and I became ill and sick. So I won't do that no more. It's really that simple. And I don't have any negative feelings of that. If my daughter started talking to me like shit and started, whether you're my daughter or not, you're not going to talk to me like that. See you later. I'm not letting you be like that. And then she needs to then learn her lesson. And my dad was the same. My dad was abusive till his last breath. I'm not going to put up with that. So the day came and said, I've done my best. I tried my best. This guy's never going to change. Maybe if I leave him now, he might realize, and he might come back to me one day and say, you know what, I'm sorry, son. I've learned a valuable lesson. And I'd have opened my arms and we'd have been father and son. So I'm not running away. I'm just realizing that we participate in something that helps us grow from the weaknesses and the challenges and the tests that we put ourselves through. You want the opportunity to relocate? Here's a good one. Relocate. Do it. Do it with no regret, no suffering, no worries. Just do it. Because things change and happen, and it's incredible what happens thereafter. Anyway, I could go on all day, but I'm wishing you all a lovely day. I'm sorry I can't answer all of those questions correctly, and maybe I've just said something that might have upset you. Gaia Love Warrior, I'm sorry if I have, but I don't know. There's only so much I can hear and read through a screen and understand without really getting to know you and understanding the situation, which I don't do anymore. I don't do one-to-ones. So I do this just a general chat. So have a great day, guys. Love you all. Thank you for being here wholeheartedly. Thank you for supporting markbayerski.com, because it's been the best weekend we've ever had for maybe 5 years. Don Tolman's oil is selling out. I'm working on it again tonight. So it's incredible what's happening on the website. People are being so kind. They're loving the crystals. Today I've got a special offer on, today and tomorrow, if you were to buy any bumblebee jasper, you will receive another bumblebee jasper. As long as it's a pendant, you will receive a second pendant free to give to somebody that you love. And it will also be sent by DHL worldwide. So that's my gift today. So I used to give crystals out willingly, but then there was too many cheats and scumbags who were doing bad stuff. When they found out I was doing that, they were pretending to be me. And so this is the way I can do it. So again, thank you so much, everybody. You are amazing. You are powerful. And never forget, no one has the power over you unless you let them. Take care. Bye for now. Cheers, guys.